performance and getting a clean sheet, and even though you guys had a hurtful loss with Aaron getting injured, just the way the team performed and that defense solidity that we saw, how much confidence does that give you guys?
Well, first of all, we were so gutted for Aaron. We all know the importance of Aaron in our squad, in our team, at the club. We tried to find a way, to manage his absence. It will be for long term. So I think Kosi came on and did really well the last game against Minnesota. It's also our responsibility to the senior players, the more experienced player, to have a kind of guidance towards the other player, and I found a lot of discipline the last 3 games, and he helps the team to perform and to get the wins that we needed. We also are in a situation that we cannot waste points anymore, so even more at home. So a lot of things, that we try to adapt, and right now it's been working, but we cannot switch off at least until Portland. We need to carry on to give an extra push before we start the Leagues Cup. Yeah, we have to look forward, but also backwards, because it's quite close this season in the table, and like I said, we are in a situation we cannot waste point anymore, and we have to push, get as many points as we can. Of course, we are looking to perform well, but at the same time, the priority right now is to get points. And sometimes we need to adapt to the circumstances, like we did against Minnesota. We didn't play a very attractive games, but we were really solid, and we felt the players really committed. We adapted the planned game, and it worked quite well. So that's also... in those type of moments, we need to use experience, and it's been working quite well the last 3 games. But again, we cannot switch off. We have to carry on, and the derby is always special. So we have to make the right performance.
Last one from me. What do you see from the group now and after the experience of the Club World Cup this summer? And what lessons that like teach you guys, and how do those like transfer over to what we're seeing now?
Yeah, I think it's quite easy to answer. Like when you play that type of games, you can feel the high level, and it's all about details, and details will make the difference between a win and a loss, especially at this level. Also, it was a really big effort for our team. When you don't used to play at such a level, obviously it demands a lot of focus, a lot of energy, so you pay a little bit the price afterwards, and right now we can feel there is a lot of fatigue, but we still manage to compete because mentally we are strong, because we have a coaching staff, medical staff committed, and they try to provide the best to the players. And also we have players really committed to the club and to the team. So again, there is 2 more games until the Leagues Cup start, and it's really, really important to finish well. And I don't even talk about the derby, because derby is it's also about pride, and for fans it means so much that we have to do the job. Yeah.
Josh Gross, go ahead.
Thank you. Hey, Hugo.
Hello.
What does it mean for you to be named captain after Aaron went down, and how do you think that you already have a lot of influence and experience among the group, but now wearing the captain's armband the rest of the way, does that matter? Does that elevate how you feel you need to get your points across?
Yeah, I think it's quite easy to answer. Like when you play that type of games, when you don't used to play at such a level, obviously it demands a lot of focus, a lot of energy. So we have players really committed. We have players really committed to the club, and to the team. So again, there is 2 more games until the Leagues Cup start, and it's really, really important to finish well. And I don't even talk about the derby, because there is also 2 more games until the Leagues Cup start, and it's really, really important to finish well. Well, I don't need to wear the armband to feel the responsibility, to be honest with you. But I feel even more responsible right now because of the absence of Aaron. He's our captain, and he's been really important for the team. And unfortunately, he's going to be away for a couple of months, and the team has to adapt. Some players they need to step up as well in terms of leadership, and all together we have to find a solution and manage the situation as good as we can. But like you said, obviously, with my experience, it's also something that I need to look after, because I have this responsibility, and I want the best for the team, you know. So we need to stay really high focus, at least for the next 2 games, and then we will have time to recover a little bit from the run of games that we had.
Being captain, does that feel comfortable for you? Is that a space that you like being in?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I've been used to during all my career with Spurs, with the national team. It's not something that I was looking to get, but it usually come to me naturally. But it doesn't change my my mind or my spirit or my approach of the game, or also the way I am, you know, in the changing room or towards my teammates. So, but again, with the absence of Aaron, you know, I will do my best to make sure that the team is going in the right direction.
Thank you.
One last one.
I could go just one
Yeah.
from me. You've played in so many big derby games. You've seen how players, their eyes can be wider, what it can do to players. You know, the fans can be more crazy.
Yes.
You've had such close-hand experience of that, of course, particularly in North London. I just wonder, is there a quality that you need in a derby match that even more so than in other games? And from your experience of playing in them, have you at times, you know, had to reach into something and find something different because of the nature of everything going on around you?
Yeah, there is always a different energy when you play a derby. You always need to expect the unexpected, because sometimes crazy things can happen during the game. I would say that we have to keep our discipline, with and without the ball. That will be the key. That's also why we managed to get 3 really good results the last 3 games. And then we have some players like Denis, for example, that can create magic, you know, in those type of games. But again, we need everybody committed. We need everybody to give his best to the team. A derby is not only about 1 player or 2 players. It's a teamwork, and we also need to use the positive energy that will be in the stand, you know, from our fans. And the main thing, we need to win for them, because they are so amazing that they deserve the best. So it's our responsibility as well to give our best for them.
Denny, this week, how has the team progressed? It can be a week of 9 points. How important would that be, especially at home with a rivalry against Galaxy?
Hi, Denis. I can translate for you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cette semaine a été. Il y a moyen de gagner 9 points cette semaine. Comment ça se passe pour vous à ce moment-là?
C'est important pour nous de continuer à grappiller des points, surtout à la maison dans un derby contre Galaxy. On est dans une bonne forme. Voilà, à nous de tout simplement gagner et de prendre ces 9 points.
It's important for us to continue and to make as much point as we can, especially against in the derby against the Galaxy. It's important to win tomorrow.
Steve was just talking about a moment of reflection of the experience that the team had at the Club World Cup. From a player's perspective, what do you guys took from that experience, and how have you been able to implement that in the games now in MLS?
Alors, tout à l'heure, l'entraîneur a parlé à une réflexion après la Coupe du Monde des clubs, l'impact que ça a eu sur vous de jouer contre d'autres clubs que la MLS. Maintenant, quel impact ça a sur les joueurs pour mettre en place ce que vous avez vu en MLS?
De tout simplement que voilà, les grandes équipes jouent plus particulièrement chaque détail, chaque occasion, chaque chose à son moment. Donc on l'a vu à la World Cup, voilà, où on était peut-être à des moments plus faciles pour nous de gagner. Et au final, voilà, on se rend compte que les meilleures équipes ça joue sur des détails les matchs. Donc voilà, on sait que en se remettant au boulot en MLS, voilà, on est capable de faire de grandes choses ici en MLS. On l'a démontré à la World Cup.
All the big team in the world, for all the big team, the game will be on little details on every occasion, opportunities to score will be taken, and sometimes we're a little maybe too easy. Those details have an impact on our games, but we see now that if we work enough, we can have a big impact on MLS.
For you personally, you've been scoring the last games. We have the All-Star coming up. Just how much of that it's a motivation for you of what's happening and the way you can contribute to the team?
À ton niveau personnellement, tu as marqué au dernier match. Il y a les All-Star Games qui vont commencer bientôt. Est-ce que ça a un impact sur ton jeu? Est-ce que tu penses cette perspective?
Oh non, pas du tout. Vraiment, je suis tout à fait normal. Voilà, je continue de jouer mon football, que ça soit en match régulier ou All-Star Game. Voilà, je l'ai déjà fait auparavant et pour moi, ça change pas du tout.
Not at all. It doesn't have much of an impact. I want to play my normal football. I've previously played the All-Star Game or in MLS to play exactly the same.
Denis, it's another derby match against the Galaxy. This time it's at BMO Stadium. What can the home field atmosphere do for a player in a big match like this?
On a encore le derby contre les Galaxies, et cette fois c'est au BMO Stadium, à la maison. Quel impact ça a de jouer, l'atmosphère de jouer à la maison contre les Galaxies?
Pour moi, c'est un très gros avantage, voilà, de recevoir l'équipe ennemie à la maison. Voilà, je sais que les fans seront au rendez-vous et l'ont toujours été. Donc voilà, je pense que ça sera un très bon match. Et pour nous, je pense que ça va nous transcender aussi. Donc c'est parfait d'avoir les fans à la maison.
For me, it's a very big advantage to play against our Nemesis team at home and to welcome them at home because the fans are here and it will transcend us, the players, to do good against the Galaxy.
Denny, how do you handle when a player is doing great and you were in a global stage as well, and there are always during this time there's like transfer rumors. How do you deal with everything that is being said when there are interest of other teams to get your services?
Comment ça se passe pour toi en ce moment? Tu moment et tout se passe bien et tu as beaucoup de visibilité, surtout depuis la Coupe du Monde des clubs. Il y a des rumeurs de transfert à ton sujet. Comment est-ce que tu le vis?
Franchement, je le vis normal. Voilà, je sais que j'ai des matchs tous les 4 jours. J'essaie de me concentrer tout, tous les 4 jours pour être prêt pour le match. Voilà, ça me fait pas du tout cogiter. Voilà, je joue mon football. Ce qui doit se passer va se passer. Et voilà, en tout cas, je suis concentré sur mon football et pas autre chose.
Frankly, I try to stay normal. There is a game every 4 days, and I want to play every 4 days, and I focus to be ready for the games. I don't want to think about it. What will happen, happen. Que sera, sera.
And last one for me, in terms of the rivalry, you always want to play and win, and you're very competitive. But in a game like this, and we've seen it in past games against the Galaxy, what do you feel inside that fuels that energy of the rivalry, and what are you expecting to do against them on the field tomorrow?
Denis, tu es toujours un grand compétiteur et dans un match comme ça contre les Galaxy, qu'est-ce qui te motive dans cette rivalité qu'il y a avec d'autres clubs de Los Angeles?
Les ambiances des derbies, c'est toujours électrique. Voilà, c'est ce qui me motive le plus. C'est que voilà, l'une des deux équipes, enfin, je pense les deux équipes veulent gagner. Donc c'est ça qui fait que il va y avoir un gros match. Et puis moi personnellement, voilà, j'ai envie de marquer à chaque derby. Voilà, c'est comme ça dans ma tête depuis petit. Donc quoi qu'il arrive, chaque adversaire, j'ai envie de marquer, mais plus particulièrement dans un derby.
Mostly the atmosphere of a derby. There's an electricity in the stadium. In those kind of derby, both teams want to win, and so that's going to be a great game. And personally, I want to score. For every derby, I want to score. Since I'm a kid, I dream about those games, and I want to score in those kind of games.
Josh, any questions?
Yeah, thank you. Denis, it's been almost 4 years since you arrived in Los Angeles. I'm wondering, how do you feel about the derby over the time you've been here, and how do you think the city feels about it?
Denis, ça fait 4 ans maintenant que tu es à Los Angeles. Comment tu te sens sur ce genre de derby? Comment tu as vu l'évolution de ce derby à Los Angeles?
Ils sont toujours spéciaux. Les derbys sont toujours spéciaux. Voilà, on en a perdu, on en a gagné. Des fois on le joue à Rose Bowl, des fois on le joue à la maison. Moi je trouve ça super bien, voilà, d'avoir des derbys. Je sais que cette année on en a que 2. L'année dernière on en avait 3, c'était super bien. Et après voilà, comme j'ai dit, c'est motivant pour les fans et motivant pour nous aussi. Donc voilà, moi j'ai toujours hâte de jouer un derby en tout cas.
It's always something special. We won some derbies, we lost other. We play some at home, we play some at the Rose Bowl. It's always very good. This year we only have 2 derbies. Last year we had 3. And it's a very big motivation for the fans, but also for the player. And I'm really eager to play that game.
I believe your first one was the playoff match in 2022, and you scored twice. I asked Steve maybe if he had a memory, one particular match that stood out to him, and he mentioned that 2022 match. Over all the games you played against the Galaxy, is that also one that stands out to you as particularly memorable, or do you have another in mind?
Joel dit qu'il se souvient que ton premier playoff, son premier match contre les Galaxy, c'était les playoffs, et tu avais marqué un doublé. Il a demandé à Steve, l'entraîneur, quel était son match référence, son match préféré du derby, il a dit 2022. Est-ce que pour toi c'est la même chose aussi? Est-ce que tu as ou un autre match qui t'a vraiment marqué contre les Galaxy?
Non, pas spécialement, mais ouais, 2022, j'ai mis un doublé. Après, je pense qu'à la maison aussi, en 2023, je crois, où j'ai dû mettre aussi un doublé, mais pas spécialement. Voilà, quand je marque, en tout cas, c'est un spécial moment, donc je suis content.
So, there's not a specific game you remember. 2022 was actually a good game because he scored twice, but then I think like at home last year in 2023 he also scored twice. So there is no specific moment. It's always a good experience.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we were quite pleased with the result in Minnesota in the fashion we represented ourselves in that game. I think it was a long time coming in a way performance like that where we had to dig down deep and through effort, through mentality, and the ability to defend a lot of set pieces and against a very dangerous team at set pieces, to keep a clean sheet, and that's really important away from home, and that's also important moving into games like this, which are derbies, and these games have always proven to have a lot of goals. So I think the team who can defend better and if we can keep a clean sheet, I like our chances of winning this game. That we really want to do first and foremost for our fans, and then for ourselves as a group, to keep this positive run that we've had over the past couple of weeks going.
Thank you. And we'll get started with questions here. Katya, go ahead.
Hi, Steve. How have you seen the team progress this week? It can be a week of 9 points, and especially ending it with a rivalry at home. What would that mean?
I think the progression of our group has, you have to go much further back. I think we've only lost one MLS game in maybe our last 13 tries. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but something around there. And so, and I was also very pleased with the Club World Cup, how we presented ourselves, and with the exception of one half out of 6. So I think this form, and this positive form, has been going on for longer than a couple of weeks. Yes, when you have congested periods, it's great to pick up points and accumulate it and move up the table in a faster manner. I think that is something we all want to see, and sometimes when you're in form and you have a bunch of games, it becomes easier to move up the table faster. But nonetheless, there's 34 games in the season, and the point is at the end of the season to end up where you want to be, and not so much now or at the beginning. So I would, having that said, I think all of that doesn't matter Saturday, and it never does against our rivals, and these games are always a little different, and I don't think form or standings dictate this game at all. And our players understand that, and we've spoken about that, and we'll have solutions for that, and I know mentally and physically we'll be ready as well.
A little moment of reflection, you mentioned that you're proud of how the group performed during the Club World Cup. The fact that, in particular, the way this team stood up against Chelsea in that first game, and the fact that they ended up winning it all, what does that say?
For me, nothing new. We scouted a very good Chelsea, extremely talented players, and a lot of quality. Were they in form in their first match of the tournament as they were in the final? No, of course they get better throughout the tournament. But you're still going up against some world-class players, and I was very pleased with our approach, tactically, but also the way the players implemented it. And I think, we learned a lot from that tournament. I think we learned that if we are tactically disciplined, if we have positional integrity, and we stick to the plan, then we're a very good team. Coming up short in a few of those moments is normal against teams that are better and have a payroll of almost 9 times greater. And so I thought I was very pleased, and I was able to assess our performance, I think, in the right manner. I think for a lot of people, and getting to your question, after the tournament, after Chelsea won the tournament, performance got a little better from LAFC's perspective, but for me it didn't. I was pleased post-game as well, and we knew what we were capable of, and I think, again, going back to the tournament, we were happy with 5 of the 6 halves we played, just we came up short in 1.
Hey, Coach, thank you for your time. Talking about going back to the derby match, possibly one of your last derby matches, LAFC El Tráfico. Just your thoughts on what do you think is not working out for Galaxy this season? And like you kind of mentioned, it's always head-and-head, 2-2 last game. How do you see this match?
I will not comment on their business. They are in much better position to answer those questions than I am. I do know the challenges of winning a championship in the following year financially in this league. But exactly what that looks like for them, I have no idea. And Will and Greg are experienced enough to answer that for themselves.
We'll move to take questions online. Just a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, please use the raise your hand function. Josh Gross, do you have any questions? Go ahead.
Thanks. Steve, you lost the Vancouver match 1-0, and Sergei Valencia talked about afterwards sort of a realization among the group that you had 4 of the 5 been home before Leagues Cup, and this period was important. Did you notice a specific switch or something triggered inside the group after that Vancouver result?
No, not really. I think we were disappointed with the result. We had plenty of chances and opportunities to put the game on our terms. We just didn't do it. So all that was missing was just a little more commitment in the final third, and possibly a little more calmness and coolness and awareness of what's actually going on around you. Is there somebody in a better position to score? Is there room for one more pass? Is our final touch proper? Is our finish intelligent? So I think it was just nuances that were missing, which can happen after you come off of a situation or a moment or an event like we had at the Club World Cup. And Vancouver is pretty good at what they do. And so I don't think much was missing. I didn't see a big difference post Vancouver in Colorado and Dallas and Minnesota. But I did see a little difference in the final third and a little bit of an uptick in finishing plays. And that is how you win at the professional level. You are good in your own box and you are effective in the opponent's box. That is the professional game. Everything in between the boxes is nice to have, but it's not that important.
Yeah. Have you also noticed coming out of the Club World Cup maybe a little bit more poise or calmness on the field from your players? Or have they taken any lessons away from what they experienced in that tournament as you've seen it over these recent games?
I think players can answer that better than I can. But what I think we've taken away as a group is that the team can play at a high level, and no matter who we play, it is our job to try to reach that level and to kind of raise the bar. And so just competing and just being good enough isn't good enough. We want to play to our potential. And I think we saw our potential in that tournament, and it's hard work. And it's mentally tiring to do that and to always try to play your best. But that's our job. And that's the standard I'm going to hold this group to, and they've done a great job over the past couple weeks.
Last one from me here. I believe this is right that as the schedule bears out now that this could be the last time that you face the Galaxy as LAFC manager. Just your sort of overall takeaway of the experience of the Derby you've had, and is there a particular moment or a game that stands out to you as something that you'll hold on to as you move on to the next stage of whatever you're doing?
They're all fun. I enjoy those games. Games where the intensity of every moment, every play is a little greater than in other MLS matches. I think it's fun to watch. I think that creates for more excitement. I think it creates for more moments where games can be decided. And then judging from text and comments from others around the league who are not emotionally attached to that game, I think a lot of people tune into those games. And what I take from that is the more games we can get where the intensity level is raised, the better the MLS looks. And so I love playing in these games, or not playing but coaching in these games. To answer your question, for me, the one that still stands out is a playoff game, which has the most importance in 22.